Hi guys, my name is Titi and I'm a data scientist and also the co-owner of a health tech platform called Guardian Health. Quite lately, I've had a lot of questions being asked by a lot of people because of the media attention that I've been getting of late. So Guardian Health has been achieving quite a lot, and also as an individual, I've also had the privilege to be nominated for quite a lot of things this year. Some of them being I was actually part of the top 15 young geeks of South Africa 2020, and also being part of the Rising Stars are nominated by Brainstorm magazine. So, because of this, a lot of people have been reaching out to me and actually asking me questions around how to become a data scientist, what subjects they have to do, or even for some people that are in varsity that maybe want to actually get into data science, they also had questions around that, or even people that actually want to do career switches, where they move from one career to the other. So, because of all the questions that I've been getting, and even how to win hackathons, I've had such questions being asked actually. And also, generally, how do you maybe develop your idea to a point where you can actually be confident enough that it can succeed? I'm hoping that Guardian Health succeeds, but generally people have been asking me such questions, and it's because of that I decided to actually start this YouTube channel, because I realized that there might be a vast amount of information out there on YouTube, on the net, and all of that stuff. But I think it's really important that people that are local, or learners that are local, understand some of these concepts and some of these things from people that are also local, because the information then becomes more relevant. If I'm going to tell you of subjects that you're doing at school, and I'm going to be like, yeah, you're going to get it a little bit more. And that's really why I started this. I really wanted it to be a channel where we can share information and where you guys can ask all the questions that you guys would like. I think based on the questions that I have that I'm going to be addressing, it's really going to be a safe space for everyone, be it you're a learner in high school, be it you're a student in varsity, be it you're somebody who's in industry. We can even go a little bit deep into technical stuff. I'm more than open to that. I'm actually open to people just suggesting stuff that they would like for us to talk about. I'm more than open to suggestions. So please do leave a comment as a suggestion, and please do subscribe. So I think the first thing that I wanted to talk about, so guys, I actually wrote stuff down for this video because I didn't want to actually forget. One of the first things that a lot of people ask me is what a data scientist actually does. And actually, there's been a lot of confusion around what a data scientist does, because so many times when I tell people what I do, they never really know what I actually do. So I just wanted to really start by explaining or describing what a data scientist does, just to clear the air, so that even if there were people that didn't know what a data scientist does, they can actually be able to actually know what it is and maybe actually find some sort of interest in it. So, firstly, what a data scientist does is a data scientist actually extracts meaning from information, and that's really all it is. And they use statistical methods, or they use like machine learning methods. So, generally, you just have to be somebody who knows how to extract data, get meaning out of it, and also actually understand human behavior so that you can be able to interpret that data. Also, the really cool thing about being a data scientist is that you work in multiple industries. So it's not limited to one industry, it's not limited to tech. You can be a data scientist in health, you can be a data scientist in telecoms, you can be a data scientist in a bank. So you can literally be a data scientist in each and every industry, as long as data is collected, which data is collected in each and every industry. And that's actually becoming the new currency, as some people would like to call it, because now to have data in your company, or to have data in your organization that you can use to extract meaning and actually improve business and make informed decisions based on the data that you have, that is amazing, guys. Like, there's so much value that comes from that. So that's what a data scientist does. So in order to become a data scientist, I think I would say there are two ways you can become a data scientist. You can actually become a data scientist through the computer science stream, or you can become a data scientist through the stats stream. I would say that I think currently computer science is actually becoming a more preferred way of becoming a data scientist by many people, but this is my opinion. And also, it really depends with who is hiring. But a lot of people now, because people that generally have a computer science background have a good programming background, which is something that a lot of organizations want, because if you have that, that means you're going to be able to actually deploy your models into production, which is value. That brings a lot of value. So in order to actually now get into computer science for high school people that have been asking about the subject, the most important thing, actually, I actually went and I checked on the website because I wasn't really sure if physics was very important for this. So the requirements I know on the vets website, because I studied at vets, are actually math. So they want pure maths. You have to do well, they I think level 6, and you have to have English. It doesn't actually matter if it's English first additional language or English home language, as long as it's a level 5 if you want to go to Vets University. But I do know that because computer science falls under the faculty of science at vet specifically, sometimes it's a bit of an advantage to actually have science subjects. I had science subjects, guys. I did physics, your math, your English home language, life sciences, and all of that stuff. But I do know that I did actually study with people that didn't have physics. So physics is definitely not a must, guys. It's not a must. I'm just a little bit biased. Um, so my story in terms of how I actually became a data scientist was that when I finished matric, I actually did really well, guys. So I went to VET and I actually started with four majors, which was physics, math, applied mathematics, and computer science. I actually dropped computer science after second year because I was really struggling with it, and I was really struggling to grasp. But I ended up in the field anyhow, and I think that's actually one of the things that I'm going to talk about in terms of how do you actually become a successful data scientist, or how do you actually become a successful programmer, because at the end of the day, all of these careers in tech, most of them, it's all just programming. It's just that at the end of the day we focus on different things. But I feel like when I was in second year, there were just things that I had not learned around becoming a successful computer science student, and even ultimately becoming a successful computer scientist in future, that I had to learn. But yeah, I dropped it. I was really, really struggling. So I get it, guys. I get it. But yeah, it was I was really struggling and I had to drop it. And I actually graduated with applied math and pure maths. Then after I finished my undergrad, I really started stressing a lot around career opportunities, because I wasn't sure about the career opportunities that applied maths had to offer. I think because of the 4IR, guys, that everybody's talking about, computer science has more opportunities, I would say, than applied math. So that was quite a stressful fact for me, because now I was stuck with applied math and I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to get a job next year and all of that stuff. So what I did do is I found out about big data analytics, which is an honors program at VETS, which I then did because I could qualify for it because I'd done first year computer science. So yeah, I qualified for that, and then I did my honors in big data analytics. That's how I then actually went back into computer science, because at the end of the day, the reason why I said I am saying that I went back into computer science is because now this is actually something that's going to address the day to day of a data scientist. um I think I had a very wrong perception of what a data scientist would do even after honors, when I was still in honors, because when you're still in school, you do a lot of notebook stuff. So when you get into industry, reality is quite different, and that's why I actually thought this was something that was very important. So when I went into, so when you're in varsity and you're doing your big data analytics, you do a lot of notebook stuff, you do a lot of exploration in your notebook and all of that stuff. But then when you go into industry, firstly, because a lot of companies have not yet, they don't even have like sometimes really structured data science teams as yet, or they're starting to structure their data science teams. What usually happens is that you end up doing some programming tasks. Like maybe you could actually end up as a software engineer or as a data engineer. Data engineering is usually where you end up as a data scientist, right? So if you go in as a data scientist, these careers really overlap a lot. So you could end up building data pipelines a lot, where you're moving data from some source to another one and you're doing some analytics and all of that stuff. Um, but a lot of times you might not really be doing a lot of machine learning stuff. I mean, at the moment, even at work, I'm actually doing a lot of software engineering stuff. I'm actually doing a lot of back end development, not machine learning or data exploration. Not to say I don't do that, but I would actually say the amount of times that I do data exploration and machine learning are actually less than the times that I actually do other tasks that are just software engineering. So day to day is very different. It really differs with where you're working and the amount of projects, and also how far they've gone with their data science projects and stuff. In some companies, you're going to do a lot of stuff where you just do some models and stuff that sit in some notebook. But if you're really going to a hardcore company that wants you to do like data science, you're going to need to learn how to use things like the cloud. You're going to need to learn a bunch of stuff. But I think this is actually something that I'm going to do in the next video, where I'm really going to get into what is it that we currently do as data scientists for the most part. This is actually going to come from, I'm actually going to interview my friends, because I have a lot of friends that are data scientists. So I'm actually going to ask them to say, what exactly do they do? Are they actually doing what they would perceive to be data science from what they learned? That this is what data science actually is. Are they doing data engineering? Are they doing a lot of software engineering? Because what I do know from most of my contacts is actually that they're not really doing a lot of ML and data analytics. But this is something that I'm going to address in the next video, guys. Please do subscribe, and do please comment and also suggest things that I can talk about that can be helpful to you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you. Bye.